Hello and welcome to my Minecraft Let's Play, or more of a Let's Build because that's all I do in Minecraft. I re-downloaded the game a month ago and I've started on survival mode. I've been building this gothic castle for the past month using cobbled deep slate. The last time I played was when 16.1 came out. This is what I've got completed so far, just the foyer, and I started on normal mode, but I changed to peaceful because I got scared. That and I didn't want the creepers blowing anything up. I definitely cheated here and there. I made a beacon in creative mode. I definitely did not fight the wither. The beacon also doesn't work. I don't know why. I got it so I could mine faster, but it literally does nothing. So, this isn't even the most current version of the game. It's 19.2. I still haven't made it to all the biomes like the mangroves. I'm going to try to do better next episode. I have the shield out for some reason, even though it's been on peaceful mode for the longest time. It's really blocking the view when watching the video back. I don't really notice when I'm playing. So next episode I'm going to destroy the beacon because I don't like all the little swirls on screen from the buff. And turn off the crosshairs whenever I'm showing things. Also turn off the subtitles. This is the ceiling I made out of magma blocks. I like how it looks. It's not really bright and it's a nice color, so I'm going to use it throughout the rest of the build as well. The rest of the build is really empty. None of these rooms are filled and there's a lot of hallways that go nowhere because I'm continuing to fill it in. These are the mines that I've built so far in survival. I've mainly been getting cobbled deep slate from it. And the amethyst and calcite stuff for the floors. I made a diamond mine. Was not useful. I found way more diamond not doing that, so it's really easy when you have it on peaceful mode. I plan on keeping the sound on in the game, but the audio got corrupted this time. I've tried to build around the side just a little, haven't really gotten that far, and over here I made a giant wheat field because I've been seeing a lot of TikToks of people in fields at night and it looks really scary and I wanted to recreate it in Minecraft, so I'm gonna build a creepy church on the other side of the tree. And over to the left is where one of the villages are. I happened to spawn around 4 villages and none of them had silk touch, which is what I've been trying to look for the longest time. I've already seen 2 sunken ships and neither of them had it. So I'm no longer building in survival mode, I'm building in creative. And I'm also working on these windows over here. And I did not have a design planned out yet, and I did not want to have to build and redo it 8 million times. So I'm building the castle out of cobbled deep slate because when I was last playing in 16.1 they didn't have deep slate yet, and I thought it would be really easy to get in survival mode. It doesn't take a lot of resources to get. So I'm making the windows 7 blocks long, so they're an odd number so they can come to a peak, and I'm making the border 2 blocks wide all the way around. Let me know if, first off I'm going to take the subtitles off that are in the corner, but let me know if the FOV is too high and it's like too fish-eyed lens. Here I'm finding the center of all the windows and putting a block there. Then I'm building off the sides and deciding what shape I want to get. And then I thought stairs might be a good idea because they'd be more detailed from farther away. It's kind of hard to see what they look like with the background that's there, but then I start getting this polished deep slate that I think looks prettier. The rest of the build has cobbled deep slate, but I think the design that's within the windows might look better as a polished deep slate. And this is when I saw the sun was going down, so I ran back inside to show you what it looked like in the windows. I really like the windows. I wonder what it's gonna look like in this room, but since the whole mountain's there that I'm gonna knock out, I don't really know yet because I'm not gonna be up this high. I start taking down some of the trees just to get them out of the way. And it's pretty dark while I'm building here, and you can't really see it too well, so I end up going to sleep. I don't know if I should keep an eye out for that when building in the future. If it gets nighttime, I should. So the first shape I make is like a triangle, and it seemed a little boring, so I tried to change it up and try to make it more of an arch, but it didn't really work out too well. At this point, I was trying to find something vertical that might fit in that space. So I open the menu and I start looking through the slabs, but I think there's a mod that I used to use where you could put the slabs vertically, but you can't do it in the base game. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, I don't know. And this is also where I find that there's a whole bunch of different styles of black stone and deep slate tiles that wasn't there when I was playing last. Here I'm using walls, and then once I start putting the stained glass in, they just kind of turn into blocks, like they're no different than, you know, using a whole block. So I did not end up using those. Oh, I also found the withered skeleton skull that I've never seen before, and I'm definitely gonna decorate with those as like gargoyles or something, I don't know. So this is when I find out that if you use stairs and stained glass, it leaves out this little square, which I did not like at all. So that kind of ruins my idea for using stairs in the details in the windows. So I have to use full blocks. At this point, I hadn't given up on that dream, so I continued to try to make some different shapes out of the stairs to try to find what I wanted to do. Here I'm doing some more arch options out of full blocks. This one's a little shorter. I also end up not going with this one either. I'm really glad I'm not doing this in survival mode and having to build and tear down and then run out to see what it looks like from a distance. This is when I start really getting creative and start trying to make designs within the window itself instead of just the arch at the top. And I actually end up going with this option with the triangle top and filling it in. I also tried doing the archway in front of the stained glass so it didn't have those gaps, and I just thought it stuck out too much and it looked strange from certain angles, so it kind of solved the problem of there being holes and still being able to use the stairs, but it wasn't what I wanted. So this is the final shape I end up with. I couldn't tell you how tall it is, didn't count ever. I just kind of eyeballed it on how big I wanted it. Here's a quick view of all the options during a thunderstorm that started. It's very fitting. And here's what it looks like from farther away. Oh, you'll love this. This is where I decided to get really crafty and pull up a tab to look up Gothic windows and completely forget to switch the camera over to the tab I'm looking at so you can't see anything. After looking at some inspo online, I decided to get the arches that I actually wanted by using them or putting them on top of the 4 different windows so that it was finally big enough to do the shape that I wanted. And I don't really have a rhyme or reason for what I'm doing. I'm just like placing blocks and seeing what it looks like and trying to get it centered. I did the math wrong somewhere along the way and the sides were taller, so I switched it so the tall one's in the middle. Then I finish up both sides and this is what I got. Then I go and make all the windows the same. And my first idea was to fill it all with red stained glass to make it more like a vampire castle. And I saw some pictures online of red stained glass windows and I really liked them. But it just seemed really monotone. There wasn't like different shades of red that you could choose. This is where I get confused because one of the gray stained glass is the exact same color as the background of the creative menu. So I got some black stained glass and started outlining the design to see if it looked better. I didn't like it, so I changed it up a little and tried some different things. And I tried changing the top to black, and I liked it a bit better, but it still wasn't it. So then I went to the menu and got black, gray, and light gray, and I decided to do an ombre. And this is the final design I decided to go with. Then to still use the red stained glass, I decided to put it at the top. And it looked a little boring, so I got some full glass cube pieces and put them in the middle to make it kind of more 3D, and I liked it a lot better. Then I start working on the ceiling and the side walls, just filling them in a bit. And this is when I start to take apart the hill in the background, and it's taking a while, so I decided to get TNT and see if that helps. This is when I start to decide to put the TNT very close to the wall and hope that it doesn't blow up the windows. And I didn't notice, but it definitely blew up the windows, and you can see it in this clip. I didn't realize it yet. Here's the moment I realized that half my window was missing, and I got a little bit upset about it. I mean, I had to rebuild it all. I go ahead and finish all the other windows while I'm at it. I left my animal noises on, and you could see that the cows and the sheep behind me are annoying the crap out of me. They're so loud, so I decided to commit mass cow murder out of anger. I could have just turned the noises off, but this seemed like the right decision. Oh, and don't forget to collect your XP. I go back and finish doing the windows, and this is what they look like afterwards. Then I finish up the top. And this is what it looks like with the 3D blocks in it. Then I clearly didn't learn my lesson, and I go back in with the TNT blocks, and here you can see me think for a second. Maybe that's too close. But it's too late because I fly into the air. And you guessed it. Rebuilding, rebuilding. And good as new, for now. I start to take some of the trees out and try to take out some of the hill by hand, and I start looking at floor patterns. I looked at the mangrove log, which I haven't seen yet since playing the game, and I think it might be a good block to use for like a rug. But for now I decided to use the deep slate tile that I haven't seen before, and put that all over the floor. Then it starts to get dark, so I start thinking about lighting and I get some options. I'm choosing between glowstone, magma, and the lantern lights, and then I found these fog lights. I don't know what biome they're in, but I haven't seen them yet. Then I accidentally got this achievement. I have no clue what it is. And I was a little disappointed with these lights because they look different, but they glow the exact same. You can't really tell from far away that they're any different whatsoever. I thought that it might glow different colors at the very least, but they didn't. So I go back to the old school magma block that I was going to use, and I compare it to the glowstone and the lantern light. The glowstone just didn't look like the right color, and the lantern light was just as bright, so I replaced those, and I decided to use the lantern light at the very top just so you can see the castle in the distance, and the magma block at the bottom for the color. This is what it looks like afterwards. And I start to think about lighting on the inside, and I wanted that like glow that you see from the outside across these, let's call them swords. So I started putting that down, and I really like the way it looks from the outside, how you kind of get just a little sliver of it in view. I compare that to the lantern lights that are brighter and gonna offer more light, but I think from the inside it's just a little too much light. I tried putting another block layer over it because I just don't like the way it looks from the inside, and I start to question if that's gonna be coming out of the wall too much since it's now like 3 layers thick. But I decided this room's gonna be huge anyways, so using some room up for just the lights on the windows, it doesn't really matter. And then I decided the lantern lights were way too bright from the outside and they just didn't fit the vibe, so I end up going with the magma blocks and finishing up the floors. And this is as far as I got with this room. I really like it from the outside and the inside. Then I don't know why, I guess I didn't like the lantern lights. I like them now in editing, but I just replaced them all so that they're uniform with the other magma blocks. I really like the way this tile flooring looks through the windows. I might use that again somewhere else in the build. This is quite the box of a room. I'm gonna have to do like big chandeliers or something hanging from the ceiling. Maybe try to do some tapestry on the wall with some wool blocks. Then I see my little red stained glass windows here, and I think they're lacking a bit, especially at night. You can't really see them at all, so I bring the magma over and outline them. And then I cover it up again with some more cobbled deep slate, and then I drag it out to match it to the outline of the windows. There is this one block that sticks out on the outside, but I am just going to ignore it. You can't really see it from any angle unless you're exactly in the right spot. And this is the end product of what I got done in this video. I hope you liked it. I plan on doing more. I want to finish the castle at the very least. And I will see you guys later.
Bye.